I'm just blessed to be able to share with y'all today. God has blessed me with many different titles, all wrapped up into one purpose. So I'm an adoptive mother, a foster care advocate, and I'm a director of Christian Adoption Resources and Education. And that is a nonprofit organization that our mission is to demonstrate the gospel in caring for orphans and vulnerable children. And so that's what I do. But I want to go back to how I received all those titles. And I grew up with a single mother, and she wasn't living for the Lord. I had an absent alcoholic father, and I was exposed to domestic violence and substance abuse, experienced homelessness. And so I was that vulnerable child. But I was introduced to Jesus by a praying grandma that read Bible stories to me. Yeah. So I grew up not churched, but I prayed to God. I had a praying relationship with Him for my safety. And then when I was 12 years old, He gave me a dream of a little Asian girl. And I told my mom that, and later my boyfriend, that someday I was going to adopt. Well, that boyfriend, he later became my husband, and we had 2 children. And then, up to that point, I knew God just as, praying to Him as my Savior, but I wasn't ever following Him or obeying Him because I wasn't churched. I didn't really know, but I decided that I wanted to make Him my Lord, too. And so I put my faith in the Lord when I was 26 and got baptized. And soon after that, my someday came, and we started our adoption journey when I was 28 years old. And we started out with wanting a baby girl, a little baby Asian girl, and that turned into 4 very long years to complete. And through that, my heart was burdened for the waiting children because I just saw all these children out there. And our family welcomed home, in the end, a 5-year-old with medical special need and a little brother, so not the baby that I had first set out for. And so that is how I got the title of adoptive mother. And then after that, like I said, my heart was burdened for all the other children waiting to be adopted. And so God gave me a vision to start a ministry that gave adoption funds. And so I started doing my research, and right in my tiny county, Christian Adoption Resources and Education had just formed that gave adoption grants. So I reached out to them, and I joined the board in 2011. And since then, we have helped 11 children come into their forever families and given over $18,500 in adoption grants. Yeah. And the founders, they moved to Florida, and they passed the ministry on to me. And so that is how I received the title of Director of C.A.R.E. Let me go to my notes here. I didn't want to miss anything. It's kind of hard to put it all in 5 minutes. Yep. So then another title I received is Foster Advocate. And I was blessed to be a stay-at-home mother, but then my children, as they grew and got older, God positioned me in a career that I couldn't have gotten on my own. I didn't get to go to college. I didn't have a bachelor's degree. But with my lived experience and God's favor, I was hired as the CASA coordinator in my county. And I now advocate for over 35 children, speaking on their behalf to judges, attorneys, caseworkers. And my verse for that position, that God is, I'm in a secular position, but God's working through me, is Proverbs 31:8. speak for those who cannot speak for themselves, ensure justice for those being crushed. Yep. And I'm so thankful that God protected me as a vulnerable child. And yeah, hold on, let me think where I'm going with that. Yep. Yeah, and he adopted me as his daughter. And so I love that verse that you guys have in your brochure, that we are his daughter. So we're all adopted. Yeah. And yeah, and my earthly father, he couldn't be there the way that I needed him to be, but God redeemed my identity. And I know that I'm not rejected. I know that I'm welcome to his table, and that I can feast on his love, his peace, his hope, and his joy. Now they're gone. Oh, well. I know where I'm going. So my life verse is rooted in James 1:27. Pure and genuine religion in the sight of God the Father is caring for orphans and widows in their distress and not letting the world corrupt you. So that verse speaks to God's heart is for the orphan child, and he has given the task to the church to care for them. So everyone can do something. So ladies, I just ask you today to think about, what is your something? Is it praying? Is it giving? Is it support, like wraparound for those that do this? Is it fostering yourself or adopting? And I just am praying that and believing that you will receive God's, extravagant love for yourself, so then you can pour it out onto others. And so I want to leave you with a verse about God's promises. Luke 1:45, blessed is she who has believed that the Lord would fulfill his promises to her. So today, just take that step into your, to live your purpose. Be blessed.